we're not talking about billions anymore, it's trillions. Just to give you an idea, NVIDIA's stock is up 300x in the last decade. The government has launched a 10,300 crore fund to improve access to GPUs. Recently, L&T invested 1,400 crores for 21% stake in E2E. Hi everyone. One thing absolutely everyone is talking about these days is AI. How it's going to change the world, how it's this massive opportunity, how it might take away your job. But when you ask someone, okay, how can you actually benefit from AI? Suddenly, no one has a clear answer. So today, let's cut through the noise and talk about how you can actually ride the AI tsunami. Honestly, I would feel silly trying to convince you how big the opportunity is. We're not talking about billions anymore, it's trillions. This is bigger than anything we've ever seen. And AI isn't some textbook theory now. Companies are already seeing real productivity gains. Think about it. Coding is scaling completely. You no longer need hundreds of engineers to build an app. Sometimes it's just a prompt away. And it's not just tech. AI could actually disrupt call centers, maybe even make them obsolete. Alright, but what does the AI ecosystem actually look like? The entire AI industry basically has three parts. First, infrastructure or compute layer. This means GPU makers like NVIDIA and cloud providers like Azure. Second, foundational models. Companies like OpenAI, Gemini, DeepSeek. And lastly, applications built on top. Companies building products using these models. Right now, the biggest action is happening in the infrastructure layer. Companies like Meta, Microsoft, and Google are pouring in billions in GPUs, and NVIDIA is the king here. Just to give you an idea, NVIDIA's stock is up 300x in the last decade, and most of the action has happened in the last 2 years. Now the question is, what's happening in India? This time things are different. The government isn't just watching, they're moving fast. And it makes sense because India is a global software services hub, and that's the sector most likely to be impacted. There are few key pillars to the government's AI push. First, protecting our data. They want Indian data to stay within the country and not be misused. Until now, most of our data used to go abroad. This includes building data centers in India, which would bring in massive investments. Second, the IndiaAI Mission. The government has launched a 10,300 crore fund to improve access to GPUs, support the development of foundational AI models, and encourage the creation of Gen AI apps built in India. To be honest, there isn't much action happening in the listed companies in the foundational AI space, but the real excitement is the data center space. That brings you to a company I want to talk about today, E2E Networks. Up until recently, E2E was an ignored SME stock. Let's face it, nobody cared about data centers a few years ago, but that's totally changed. E2E is now one of the first pure-play data center opportunities in the listed space. It's similar to an Azure or GCP, but the cost of providing GPUs is 1/4 of these large players. They raised 1,700 crores just last year, and they've partnered with NVIDIA to bring latest GPUs to Indian startups so they can scale their Gen AI workloads. One partnership I really want to talk about is strategic investment which L&T did with them. Recently, L&T invested 1,400 crores for 21% stake in E2E. Imagine what that unlocks for E2E, access to L&T's client base and trust. This partnership unlocks so many opportunities which would take E2E from data center for startups to someone who is powering large enterprise. There's really no debate about whether this sector is going to explode. Even E2E's management said in the last conference call that they expect revenues to grow at 50% CAGR for next multiple years. And honestly, they're already delivering better than that. I wouldn't be surprised if their revenue crosses 1,000 crores from current 160 crores in the next couple of years. On right hand side, we have CoreWeave stock price movement for the last 1 month. It's a similar data center play in the US. Their stock is up 170% in the past month. It's wild how fast things are moving in this space. So that's about E2E. If you like this video, hit like and share it with your friends. And drop a comment with what you would want to cover next. Catch you in the next one.